you ready? Are you ready? Let's go!
Do you have absolute certainty about how you go from hello to yes on what you're looking for?
Sean is a master. He teaches. It's not just about sharing the formula with you. It's about making sure that we learn.
I went from $100,000 in debt from law school to having no money and starting my own law firm on my credit card to selling it 4 years later.
Sean and I, we co-created massive victories in 2 unwinnable jury trials, which are recognized nationally now as top 100 jury verdicts.
To be even on the same track with you, who I respect and admire and love with all my heart.
Never again submit. You're not better and you're not less than any human on earth.
When you shared with us about the Unblinded process and the mastery sales training, I just went, wow.
Sean will gain proximity to the most influential and powerful people. He will find out how he can grow their business, how he can help them personally. But the third thing that he does is the most important. Sean serves without an expectation of getting anything in return.
You have very, very high-performing colleagues.
22 years ago, you transformed my life as you did all these people's lives over the course of time. I couldn't be more grateful. Let's hear it for Tony Robbins.
I don't see him as a lawyer, and I don't see him as a blind person. Someone who has subjugated his ego, who has taught me what serving really looks like.
You have this incredible ability to just have unconditional love for everyone, and that is just an incredible gift.
The moment you have been waiting for.
The American Blind Association is the first new face and voice of that association since Helen Keller.
Formula for formulas, which is exactly what I've learned from Sean. It's a language-based predictable model. We will have over 300 new sales meetings this month.
This superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people. If you believe that, say yes. If you believe that, say yes.
Do you think that worked?
Riptide, Gina, what is happening and who do we have here today? Let's rock and roll.
All right. That is amazing, Sean. And we have an incredible group today. Let me ask you this. What is an experienced chiropractor of 28 years? The first one providing on-site chiropractic to Coca-Cola, of the Fortune 500 company, of course, and has trained hundreds of employees for United Airlines, celebrities, professionals, regenerative medicine. Who do you think that is? Sean Callagy out of Ventura, somebody that you just attended and spoke and inspired at his event.
Get the heck out of here. This is amazing.
Dr. Alan Laird. Dr. Alan Laird is here with us today.
Thank you.
Dr. Alan, how are you?
Good, Sean. Thanks for just an amazing presentation this weekend, and then for the breakout session and sharing about you and your life. And really excited to be here today, buddy.
Well, thank you. Appreciate you very much. And what is your fun fact, my friend?
Did you know that married men actually live longer than single men? Or at least I think it just seems that way.
Is that true? I'm not going to make about that, but that is truly amazing.
I heard that's a true statement.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting, Dr. Allen. That is awesome and outstanding, my friend. And truly appreciate you and your magic for being here.
Thank you, brother. You too.
Thank you. Gina, we got Dr. Allen. And who else we got?
Coming from Colorado, Director of Hospital Operations at Littleton Hospital, Adventist Hospital, Executive Board Member of Economic Development for the South Metro Denver Chamber of Commerce, driven to help many in community, in their lives. Welcome, Spencer Way, to The Real Raw.
Spencer, thank you for being here on this Thankful Thursday.
Thanks, Sean. It's good to be here. I appreciate being on one of the events before and being here today. So excited to learn more.
Awesome. And so, Spencer, what is your fun fact?
Oh, man. Let's see. A fun fact about me or just a fun fact in general?
A fun fact about you. Something you know, expect, maybe like the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you in your life. Doesn't have to be like that, but whatever would be like, whoa, Spencer.
Sure. I cut my teeth in hospital administration in Cameroon, Africa, where I showed up without a dictionary or any idea that the country spoke a different language than me. And it was a wild eye-opening year. So that's a fun fact about me.
Yeah.
Everything's been easier since.
Wait for it. Whoa, Spencer, that was perfect. Amazing. Moving to another country, another continent, not speaking the language. Congratulations on leading an extraordinary life. And again, thank you for being here.
All right.
Gina,
Sean.
Spencer, yes. Come on, Gina.
Come on, Sean. What do George C. Scott, Bruce Dern, Ryan O'Neal, Starsky and Hutch, and Beretta, private equity raising capital, head of business development for Crowd Create, Fortune 1000 early stage startups, or who do they have in common? Do you want to know?
I think what they have in common is that these are all things that people promised you when you were in high school in your red pumps and your Catholic school dress. Is that true?
Yes. Starsky and Hutch. Definitely. I was a Hutch fan, but yes, they also have in common Mr. Will Walker, who began his career as a Hollywood actor. Welcome, Will, to The Real Raw.
Thank you, Gina. Thanks for your energy. And thank you, Sean, for your vision and leadership. So Will, here I am after all these years.
Unbelievable. So Will, talk to us about like these things and your, well, how about, let's go to the fun fact, because I think that is the access to the
Sure. Well, change, change in everything, change in our lives, change in careers, change in business conditions, and change in life, really makes us stronger and more flexible. And it makes us embrace diversity. And I think the older I get, and now my crowd's over 50 that even remembers Starsky and Hutch and George C. Scott and Steve McQueen and all the people that helped me or I worked with and was fortunate to get to know. It's a big deal because it does. Life bends you, but it also makes you more rigid. So to be flexible, to be stronger, to embrace a change and handle and accept and profit, since I'm in private equity over 25 years now, in diversity is a big deal. And, what you guys are doing just embraces that.
No. Well, thank you. Well, and what's the connection to George C. Scott?
I co-starred in a picture called Hardcore for Paul Schrader, who wrote and directed Taxi Driver with Ryan O'Neal and Jodie Foster and way back when. And he did a picture called Hardcore, and George C. Scott, myself, Peter Boyle, who was starred in Young Frankenstein for Mel Brooks.
Yeah.
We're all in it. It was quite a big picture at the time and still holds up pretty well. So, it's just one of about 20 movies that I did and had a good 12-year run in the picture business. And that was long before the influencer world, which now I work in a lot too, along with the investment world and family offices and traditional investors. But also now the influencer world is equally, if not more so, influential and powerful to products and services and projects.
Amen, brother. And so what was your favorite movie that you were ever in?
Wow, good question. I'm going to say The Driver with Ryan O'Neal and Bruce Dern. I got to work with Walter Hill, who wrote and directed 48 Hours with Eddie Murphy, and just a great guy. He wrote a lot of the early Steve McQueen pictures, The Getaway, with Ali McGraw and a number of others. So, if you're into car chasing, it was the pre-runner to Baby Driver, which many of the younger viewers will now remember because that was a pretty big hit and they had to name it that because the driver was already taken. But it's actually a pretty good copy of what we did in the late 70s for The Driver. So it was very exciting. But my one takeaway is also disappointment in life, which we all have, or challenges. And to lose, I was the last actor cut before Mark Hamill got the lead in Star Wars. At the time, that was a very B movie. It was paying very little money. In fact, almost nothing. George Lucas had a small, skinny budget. It was not supposed to go anywhere. But I was the last person. I screen tested several times for it. It was me and Mark. Mark got it, I didn't. And the rest is kind of history. But it teaches you about adversity, challenges, and sometimes you learn the most and have the right mental attitude coming out of things that don't go your way as much as things that do go your way. So
we're covering the head. So this is Will, actually. Because this is Luke. Yes, perfect. So thank you, Will. I can't even begin to imagine the fun facts, the stories, the things you've experienced and seen, and all that you've accomplished. So thank you for sharing your energy, your heart, your wisdom with us on the Real Raw today.
Pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Yeah, Will, and who else we got?
We got one more judge today, Sean. Incredible rock star, senior associate out of New York City, Linda Claude Oben, coming to us from Calcagney and Kanefsky LLP, criminal defense, internal investigation, years of trial experience. Welcome, Linda, to The Real Raw.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Hey, Linda, thank you for being here. How about your fun fact? I can't even imagine the story. You must be.
Well, I mean, I have a ton of fun facts, but I guess maybe to piggyback off of what the doctor said, an interesting fun fact is that married women don't live as long as single women. I'm trying to change that statistic, but that's my one fun fact. I do have a second one. I have a twin sister. We look nothing alike, but her two oldest children and my only two children are the same ages. They were born within a couple of months of each other. So
that is awesome. So Linda, we thank you for being here. And where are you physically in the world today?
I am in New Jersey. I live in New Jersey.
What part?
I live in Essex County in Montclair.
Oh, wonderful. I think we just drove past your exit in the last hour because I came back to Long Beach Island.
Awesome.
Yeah. So thank you. Awesome. Appreciate you being here today, Linda.
Thanks for having me.
So Gina, is it time for the one and only?
The one and the only. Go for it, Sean.
Yes. So next up, we have the one, the only Bella Verita, heart-centered leader, future of speaking in the world, present speaker in the world, Sources talent. Came from a world of sales in her background, starting at 8 years old selling crafts, but today is the person that you want to find, if you want to talk to, if you want to grow and scale and build your business, whether it's a marketing person, a sales person, causes leadership and acceleration, you want to build and grow your business, this is the person to talk to source talent. Just happened to also have graduated from being the #1, not number 2 or 3, business broker in the state of Nevada, demonstrating her acumen, her wisdom for business building, growth, and selling. The co-host of The Real Raw, the straw that stirs the proverbial drink, business builder, business grower, the one and only Bella Verita.
Hello, Mr. Callagy. It is an honor and a privilege to be here with you today.
Well, thank you. And Bella, what is your fun fact? It is an honor and privilege to be here with you as well.
I think it's a pretty fun fact that tomorrow evening I'll be flying to Colorado because someone that I know by the name of Sean Callagy is like going to be speaking and fundraising with like Sarah Lindley and like maybe Melissa Etheridge. And when it comes to fundraising, Sean Callagy, you're the person that everybody wants at their event, and I'm honored enough to go. So I think that's pretty fun tomorrow.
It is pretty fun. That Sean Callagy guy sounds interesting. So I'll have to check him out.
I'll see if I can introduce you to him someday.
Well, I know you are the
You probably have to come on his show though.
And this is the way that I'm introducing Bella as well lately. Is like she resets the gravitational center of the room. You like that, Bella? Like seriously, like how is that?
Fun. That is fun. I appreciate that.
Resets the gravitational center. But what you didn't reset today, Bella, I will share this as my fun fact, is you did not reset the gravitational center of the Atlantic Ocean. So yeah, like that didn't happen. So I went out to a sandbar and it was there, Bella. Like there's a sandbar in Long Beach Island, which also happens.
No, it's not just a fantasy that you just say is there just to get people to keep swimming out in hurricane conditions.
That is. I had 2 excursions out to the sandbar today. I did not bring out the surfboard. Both times I was just going to body surf. And my second adventure out was after one of our amazing Unblinded group training and coaching calls. So, which I was leading. I'm like, okay, I'm going to take a quick 5-minute journey out. It's like 50 to 60 yards out to get to the beginning of the sandbar. And what I found, and I spend about 100 days a year plus in the ocean. And what I found today was a fun, interesting dynamic with like waves crossing each other. And what waves, and I am blind, but I do have a little bit of peripheral sight. So I can, and I certainly can feel the waves crashing from two different directions. And that usually means the presence of some dip in the sandbar, some like indentation in the sand, otherwise known at times as a riptide. So I ended up in the middle of a fun riptide today. And of course, we all say, be calm, swim sideways, like don't panic, which I did not panic. But I could certainly say that I felt my heart beating a bit more quickly as I was swimming sideways, and it was not letting me out of the riptide. And it felt like it was sort of this swirling little rotating dynamic that was keeping, like Charlie in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory was like elevating and rising in the fizzy lifting drinks. It kind of felt like that. Because we were like, there's no way me was circulating because my son Tyler was still sleeping, which I did not wake him up. So it was an interesting few minutes on the old sandbar. But if anybody's ever in that dynamic, after swimming sideways, that doesn't work. Hold your breath, swim underwater, and crawl across the sand. Best outcome, got out of it sideways. And I'm here to tell about it. So just another real raw and unblinded Bella Rita. That is my fun fact for today.
Hey, Shauna, can I request? I mean, I'm all for like the swimming for the sharks, jumping in at the ocean at midnight to shark music, like searching for a sandbar that's not there. But can we avoid taking me out in a riptide? Can we just like avoid that situation?
We will try. But okay. I do recommend it as like an adventure. It's like climbing Mount Everest.
Survival.
So it's like, it's got that appeal to it. But if you want to skip that, that's
I mean, that just sounds like the story of my life. I don't know why I need to go jump in the ocean to have that experience.
Look for the water to change colors. I'm sure Sean knows this, but I've been in salt water and surfing all my life too. And look for the water to change colors. When it's changing colors, that's where the rips are living.
Yes.
It's a good thing to do from the shore. That way you know what you're in for before somewhat can hopefully avoid.
Yeah. Good to know.
And brother, yes, we also had Bella surfing last Saturday, and we may or may not have been within 10 feet of a shark. So yes, Bella lives in many adventures, and Gina Ricci may actually have had her body flying past me in the ocean, in the Atlantic, and grabbing her leg going by and having no idea what human being it was. And I thought it was somebody else. It happened to be Gina, and he's here as well. So Gina Ricci, immensely grateful for you that you're here, that you're alive, and your fun fact is that you are extraordinary and you do the crazy things that we say to do here, and you probably shouldn't, but you do them anyway. So thank you.
I say yes. Thank you for saving my life, Sean Callaghan. Grateful for you, Bella, and everyone here. Thanks for joining us and exploring the impact of integrity-based human influence. Have fun.
Yes.
Ciao for now.
Thank you, Gina. And Bella, if you do put somebody's life at risk, integrity calls for saving it. So Bella, yes. Who's it going to be?
Oh, let's go with Dr. Allen.
Dr. Allen, are you ready? Bella Rita will be anybody you want her to be. This is about going from hello to yes with integrity, not pitching, hooking, closing, but integrous hello to yes. Any scenario that would make sense, that would be a relevant yes for you in the world. So Dr. Allen, who would you like Bella Rita to be?
Sorry, what was your question, Sean?
Yeah, who would you like Bella to be? Because you're in the process of going from hello to yes.
So a patient.
Nice. So Bella, you're an existing patient or potential patient?
This would be a patient that's sitting in front of me, that I am sharing the benefits of the services that we offer and trying to get them to recognize the value of it. Because in my business, no one ever walks out of my office not wanting to do it. They walk out not being able to afford it. So it's a matter of just being able to build the value in their minds to be able to spend the money.
All right, let's do this thing. Bella, you're a potential patient. Let's do it.
Hi, Dr. Allen.
Hi, so welcome, Bella. Thank you for taking the time to speak with me today. We're really happy to have you here at the center. I'm going to just begin right by talking about what brought you in to see us today. Would you just select, Bella, if you just select a an issue for me, like back pain or knee pain?
Yeah, I have like, I travel a lot, and I have like severe neck pain. Sometimes if the pillows aren't right, like my neck can just kink up and then I can't turn it, and it causes headaches and it's rather painful.
Okay. So how long have you had this problem?
I would say at least like the last 5 years.
Okay.
I've also been in a couple car accidents, so that doesn't help.
That is always contributory. Everyone who comes into my office with neck pain, if they've had car accidents, it's a big contributor.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about the car accidents. When did they occur?
Let's see, the last one that I was in. I was in two in Las Vegas. One is I was in a 3-car pileup. I was in the middle car, and the car was crunched from both ends.
That must have been terrifying.
Yeah, it definitely was. And it was a convertible, so it was very scary.
Wow.
So that was that. And then another one, both of them were in Las Vegas, like someone in front of me, swerved real quick and then, hit the person, in front of me, and then someone hit me from behind. So, and yeah.
I've been to Las Vegas, some of the worst drivers in the world, I think.
Yeah.
Taking a taxi is taking your life in your hands in Las Vegas, for sure.
Yeah, this is true.
All right. So you had one accident a couple of years ago in Las Vegas, and what kind of care did you get after that?
Yeah, I went to a chiropractor for a while, and the pain definitely got better. And then I would say over the last couple of years, with just stress and travel, it definitely causes inflammation, I would say, I guess.
Okay, so auto accidents are usually cumulative. Now, you had an auto accident before that. Can you tell me about that one?
I'm trying to remember, because I think I've had like 3. So I had the 2 in Vegas, and then I had one here in Austin, but it was like, that one was probably going back 15 years.
Okay.
And yeah.
So you were just starting to drive at that time?
Yes.
15 years ago. Yeah, you were just starting to drive, right?
Yeah. Well, a little more than that, but yes.
So tell me, how long, you said you saw the chiropractor for a while. How long did you see him?
I'd say maybe 3 to 6 months, maybe.
Yeah, that's usually what insurance companies will allow you to do before they release you. But I can assure you that it can take a year or more of care to really get correction, right? They help get you out, probably help get you out of pain, made you a bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
The trauma, we know that as little as 8 miles per hour causes soft tissue damage and structural changes. And I'm sure that the person who hit you, if it was a 3-car pilot, was doing exceedingly more than 8 miles per hour, correct?
Oh, yes, for sure.
Yeah, so the cumulative damage, and plus you had prior incidents. So your body has a memory. Whenever you have an accident, your body stores that, right? It stores it in your neurology. It stores it in parts of your brain. And when you have another trauma similar, it brings that all back up front, and it brings it back up not only mentally. So you heard PTSD, right? People that have PTSD, right? Where we relive traumas. Well, that neurological connection between your brain and your body causes your body to also relive it physically. So every time you have a trauma like that, you bring back to the forefront of your mind and to the forefront of your body prior traumas. So it's cumulative. How did that affect your life?
Hey, Bella, you got it. I apologize. Got a quick call. It's your cage fighting lesson. So can you please take this call and see if you want to move it or what's happening here?
Yes. Pardon the interruption, Dr. Allen. I will be back.
Okay.
Yeah, Dr. Allen, do you recommend cage fighting lessons as a good?
Oh, it's extremely good for people that have been in multiple car accidents. Yeah.
So Bella will deal with her cage fighting lesson and decide which way she's going with that. And we'll be back with Dr. Allen shortly. Spencer, who would you like Bella Verita to be?
How about a nurse leader that I need to transform a process?
Bella, you're a nurse leader. So Nurse Bella, are you ready?
I am ready.
Please take us in, Nurse Bella.
Hi, Spencer. It's Bella.
Hey, Bella. Thanks for taking a little bit of time. How have you been? How's your unit?
It's been a wild ride with COVID, but we're getting to the other side of it.
Yeah. Do you feel like your people are bouncing back a little bit, or you're still seeing a lot of the burnout?
I think they're starting to bounce back. The burnout was definitely real. Was definitely challenging for a while, but I think now that people are able to kind of get back out into life and be mask free in the rest of their lives, it definitely helps with their moods quite a bit.
What about you? How have you been? Have you had a vacation since, or are you still burning the midnight oil in the morning?
Funny you should ask. I was just thinking today it's time for a vacation. It has been quite stressful.
Yeah, I had my first week off, more than 3 days, more than a long weekend in 18 months, 2 weeks ago. And I can tell you, we need it more than we realize, but.
Yep. I'm having that thought right now.
Well, listen, I hate to just jump to the chase, but I know you're busy.
Yeah.
I got a call from Dr. X the other day, and he's really struggling with the turnover times in the OR. And you know how it is. I get he's got cut to close on his mind, but we live from wheels in to wheels out. And there's the dissatisfaction that we're all aware of with our anesthesiology group and some of their maybe over sedating just a little bit and dragging some of our cases out. So I get there's a ton of problems, but I want to be able to give him a good report back on some of the things we do. You're really the expert. What are your thoughts? Is there, what's within our control when it comes to the turnovers, particularly for this doc? Any ideas?
I am open to to say the last question again. I think you cut out just a little bit.
Yeah, just curious what your ideas would be about what we could do for the turnovers for this particular doc.
I believe with, everybody kind of coming back to work with some restored energy, I do honestly believe that we'll start to see those numbers get significantly better. I think it was, a lot of it was just, burnout, lack of care, just frustration, mainly lack of care. And, we have shown more interest in the health, the mental health of our staff. And I think now that we're, getting to the other side of this COVID situation, I do believe we'll start to see better numbers.
Awesome. Well, I think we'll, you know how it goes, right? So I expect to hear from this guy a couple more times.
Yep.
And so I'll share that with him. I'd like us to brainstorm and think when we have a little more time about what we can do tactically, right? Can we tear down the process a little bit? Do we have a nurse that has an interest in maybe digging into the process improvement side of things that we could assign to this one, or someone that we could make a champion for him? Open to ideas. I don't want to step on your turf, but I think he's gonna want more. So let's chat again soon.
That sounds great, Spencer. Thank you.
All right. Tell me how that vacation gets scheduled.
Okay.
Hey, Bella.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Chaz is on the phone. It seems that our Facebook and Instagram are blowing up, and a whole bunch of people are saying that they need help from Nurse Bella. So could you please call Chaz?
Yes, I can call Chaz.
That is perfect. Thank you very much. So Spencer, pardon the interruption. Sorry, sir.
No worries.
Okay. So let's see what is happening here with our judges for that extraordinary round we just participated in. Let's go, Linda. If you don't mind, 30 seconds of feedback for our participants. 15 seconds what worked, 15 seconds what could be optimized, and a score on a scale of 1 to 10. And let us start, please, with Dr. Allen.
Sure. Hi. I thought both participants did a wonderful job, so I should say that at the beginning. Dr. Allen, I thought you were giving Bella great information as a patient she needed to know. But I thought that, it was very informative what you told her. You were giving her information clearly that she needed in order to help her with her neck issues. However, I do think what would have been more helpful to her to get her to yes is to try to engage her a little bit more. Maybe ask her a few questions that she could have answered about her pain. and kind of get her to understand what services you provided that would help her ease the pain that she had. And then at that point, you would be able to hook her in and get her to say, well, how much do I have to give you?
And your score for Dr. Allen is?
Out of, what is the scale?
Out of 1 to 10.
I would give Dr. Allen, I'd say a 7.
Nice. And Linda, what'd you have for Spencer?
Spencer, I thought you were also really great. You were very engaging in asking Bella questions right away, trying to get suggestions from her as to how she could help with the process and what would help streamline the process. However, I don't know that you were really getting the feedback that you needed. Maybe try to figure out different ways to ask her those questions to get her to engage with you, to get better suggestions to help you sell, your product, so to speak.
And your score for him is?
I think I would give you, Spencer, a 6. Maybe a little bit more excitement when you were talking to her. A little bit, have it be a bit more exciting. It might have pulled her in some more.
Right. Well, Linda, thank you for that. Will, please, what do you have for Dr. Allen?
Well, I thought, he was very good at caring, showing that he cared and trying to get her history of problems and experiences that would lead to some of the challenges she was having in her neck and her sleep and all the travel and things like that. So I think he covered it pretty well, and he got in there pretty quickly, which is really smart because then he has more time to evaluate, give credible feedback to the person. I guess probably, maybe a little bit cleaner or stronger on the back end as far as this is what we're going to do. And you need to take advantage of this now. This is going to, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, and why. So I would say that's probably what my synopsis is of what he was doing.
And your score for him is?
I'm going to give him an 8.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Will. And how about for Spencer?
I thought Spencer was also very good. However, it wasn't as clear. I think he, showed that he cared about where she was right now and her situation and all the needs that she had. However, it really wasn't as clear or quick as I would have liked to have seen Spencer to offer a solution and have a kind of a clean or clear ask quicker. Again, once again, I think you did a good job at coming forward and trying to pinpoint where her situation was right now in COVID and coming out of COVID. But to have something that was a little stronger and quicker and cleaner to give a solution there as well would be my suggestion.
And your score for him is?
I'm going to give him a 7. I almost wanted to give him an 8, but a 7.
Well, thank you. Awesome job. Thank you, Will. Thank you, Linda. And Bella, I don't know. What do you think we should do from here?
I think we should have some more fun, Sean Callagy. I think somebody here should get to put you on the hot seat.
Me?
Yes.
Why me?
Because, they say that you are the master of influence and you can go from hello to yes on anything. As a fact, I'm pretty sure you have a bet out with Grant Cardone that you can out-influence him on a neutral set of facts that apparently he won't take the bet. So I think somebody here should get to put you on the hot seat that you get to go from hello to yes on anything. And so I'm thinking Will should get to set that scenario.
Well, what do you want me to grill him on? Because he reminds me so much of a very young Regis Philbin. So if you know who Regis was, he's one of the greatest communicators, influencers, moderators of all time. And, he was just an absolute workhorse for different media situations and giving back and all of that. So Regis, you even look like him. I'm just sitting here astounded. We're going to have to do the Regis Philbin movie show someday, and you're going to have to play a major role in that, Sean, because certainly you're living his lifestyle in a modern day era. And he's somebody that was absolutely irrepressible in everything that he did, and certainly was a great communicator and connector.
Well, I'm deeply honored, and I'm going to share an unbelievably serendipitous fun fact.
Yeah. Well, hot seat, once again, I cover a lot of alternative investments and diverse crowds and work with investors and influencers all over the world. And, it's great to meet you. But however, what are some of the things that you think you could be doing better, or some of your weak spots? Let's see if you'll reveal some things about you that the audience doesn't know that would really maybe help them not feel so shy, or realize that even though you're great at this and it's exciting and your energy's super, what are some things you struggle with or would like to improve?
Well, Will, thank you. So 2 quick things and then that. So first, I can't believe you said Regis Philbin. On the day I graduated from Columbia University, my parents and step-parents took me out to lunch in Manhattan. And we went to a restaurant, I don't even remember what it was. And guess who was in the restaurant? And my mom, being a proud mom, I'm the first person in a direct family line to go to college, decides that she is going to tell this person that I just graduated from college. And who do you think it was?
Had to be Regis.
It was Regis Philbin.
That's incredible. And you got the right name. He loved the Irish. He loved Notre Dame. He loved the Irish. He was, anyway, he probably loved that.
And let's go with this. Bella Verita is not like Kelly Ripa. She's not Kelly Ripa, but she's not Kelly Ripa. So this is like a very fun analogy and comparison dynamic. So thank you for that. Number one. Number two, I am very happy and always open to share the answer to your question. What I think Bella was also suggesting, if it'd be okay with you, I would answer that after we do this next little fun scenario, where in putting me on the hot seat, and you get to ask me whatever questions you want, you just did, that's great, where I have to go from hello to yes. So it's like you set the scenario where I have to be anybody I've been asked to be. I could be Regis Philbin talking, I know he's not with us any longer, but talking to the producer, or talking to Kathy Lee and asking her to come back or something.
Yeah, I get it.
I've been a lemonade salesperson. I've been President Obama, President Biden, President Trump. I've been asked to do that. I've been asked to be an attorney, accountant, all the things. So the only thing that we request in the scenario is that it's an integrous yes, meaning that it's not me selling swampland in the middle of Austin, Texas.
Got it.
And I'm happy to answer my growth opportunities for sure. Would you be so kind to set that scenario and put me on the hot seat? Or would you like to have somebody else set the scenario?
No, that's fine. I would like you to be the top podcaster and also a managing partner in an incubator network of investors, influencers, that type of thing. So I'd like you to be the CEO of a media company, digital media company that really has thousands of investors, followers, influencers, and credible people that are part of your network. And I would like to really come in and try to find out what and how to really strategically partner up with you and your network.
Awesome. So I'm going to be the person seeking the yes, Will. So I'm in the harder seat. So would you like to be, which is the harder, who's seeking, if that person's seeking the yes, then it would be me who would be seeking that yes from that podcast or influencer person. So would you like me to be the person seeking the yes? Is that the harder, I get the harder job. I'm on the hot seat.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I want you to have the harder job. So, I can be the CEO and you can be looking for the yes of a way to, partner or penetrate into a large group of very accredited and accomplished networks and, family office CEOs and things like that I work with. So, or that I control.
Cool. All right. So let's do that. And let's drop in. So, Will, thank you so much for seeing me. Again, my name is Sean Callaghy, and I so appreciate everything that you're up to in the world. I believe that an ecosystem is a sustainable environment where there's mutual value created continuously, and it stays in some sort of an equilibrium. And what you've created with this interconnected dynamic of incubators, startups, more seasoned companies, investors, folks that are being trained, coached, consuming content, is literally one of the most robust, phenomenal, and dynamic ecosystems I've seen arise in this space. So congratulations. And again, thanks for giving me a couple minutes. I know you only have 3 minutes, but thank you.
Yeah, well, that's great. I would like to see, Sean, the educational value of what you would propose to my group on some sort of an event setting or group setting, because we're very careful that there's really no pitching, no a-holing that we call it or whatever, in a direct line, a direct ask. So really like to see what kind of educational background or support you would give for any idea or concept that you would like to offer to our group, and see exactly what that looks like. So what would you say to that in giving me an idea of what you could come up with?
Yeah, well, thank you. Well, I appreciate that. If I may ask one quick question, so I want to really speak into supporting your mission. What is the mission overall? I mean, I've heard it, I've read it. I'd love to hear it from your heart. What are you looking to build and create? What's here? I know you want progress. I know there's influence being created, but at the core, what's driving you and this mission?
Yeah, we have connected and constructed an ecosystem where people can find out, not only get educated, but get the tools, solutions, and experts that they would like to learn from, as well as profit from, and really partner with on certain occasions. So it's kind of a one-stop shop. I call it the gold standard in evaluating a project or a position and seeing if there's a fit or if it's right for you, either as an investor or as a project or company or CEO. So I want to see where you'd fit in on that, because basically we start with education, like with everything in our group. Once people are comfortable and educated and can make those kinds of smart decisions, then we're definitely opening the door to greater needs and fulfillment.
Well, thank you, Will. Thank you for the clarity. I honor the vision and all that you've accomplished to get to this moment. Would it be okay if I shared briefly an answer to your question?
Please.
Yeah. And in so doing, so I know we have just over a minute to go or so, and I know the question is going to be, hey, do you want to spend another half an hour together at some point? Would it be okay if I were to share reality with no ego, just to demonstrate the power of what we can teach to your people?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I am certain, I am not confused, I am certain that influence is the only attainable superpower. The ability to go from hello to yes in our marketing, our selling, our leading, our managing, our recruiting, our fundraising, for profit, not for profit, all of it starts after yes. And I am, with humility, certain that the gap that exists between what's possible and what is actualized for human beings is mind-numbingly wide. I'm also clear that even very successful people leave extraordinary relationship capital on the table because of their inability to open listening, keep it open, and unpack value. Because every decision is based on value. Should I spend more money, more time, more energy on this right now? And people are making that decision in microscopic bites, as Malcolm Gladwell speaks to in the book Blink, and many others. My work isn't a superpower of influence. The uniqueness of the accomplishments I've had are inside of a courtroom being one of only 2 attorneys in America to have 2 top 100 national jury verdicts out of 1.2 million. One of only 2, and the only one that was blind. I took a 40-year, most highly developed sales process for high ticket selling on the planet, Tony Robbins' organization. I evaluated on my own as a lion in that organization, just watching what was happening. And when they asked me if I would share a testimony at one point, that evolved into a speaking opportunity where I revamped their entire process and broke every record they've ever had. 4xing platinum partnership sales in my second engagement, shattering the records at Date with Destiny. That wasn't based on charisma that came out of a box, because I actually failed freshman high school geometry for the year and ran for class president in 7th grade and got virtually no votes. It's because I understood there was a science to do this, and I learned and studied that science. It caused me to win national moot court competitions. It caused me to build a 40-person law firm in 2 years out of law school, which I've never heard of another human being doing. And I taught lawyers all over America, and built a 100-person law firm in 2 years, again, after I exited the first one. None of that said with any pride. Some people will know how to make a great casserole. I know how to go from hello to yes and teach people to do it. I could continue the conversation. During COVID, we took a company from $0 to $800,000 in sales in 12 months with 0 paid advertising in the space of personal development training and coaching. That's my company, Unblinded. So what I would teach your people and team is how to go from hello to yes at a level they could not possibly find anywhere else on earth. I've studied NLP, landmark, spin selling, how to win friends and influence people, and every other person of influence who has ever existed and lived within reason, virtually every. And I found the flaws, the holes, the dynamics that were not present. And what I found in a nutshell was all influence was rooted in the idea of taking something. And at the core, it was based in manipulation and winning and getting, versus creating mutuality, transparency, and integrity. And what I have found in all those things, the reason those things were created, and PS, the last 4 times I've spoken at non-charitable events, I've raised $3.4 million for charity, including in rooms of 40 and 65 people who are not decamillionaires. They were relatively common entrepreneurs. And all of that is because there's a science and a mechanism for revealing truth. So I don't know how to sell swampland in the middle of a city, but I do know how to get people to say yes and to unpack value and mutuality, which is all over your ecosystem. And I see what people do not see. And that's the work that I do. And I could break down Oprah Winfrey and tell you why her impact is only a fraction of what it could be, even though she's one of the greatest influencers of all time and a multi-billionaire. Because there's dilution in the scaling of influence and leadership. And that is one of the great assets that the greatest influencers leave on the table. It becomes about them instead of about the movement they cause at scale. And I don't mean followership. I don't mean likes on social media. I don't mean followers on social media. I mean engaged, active partnership. So if any of that resonates, because I know we're over time, if any of that resonates, I'd be happy to have a 30-minute, 60-minute, or 2-hour conversation with you, because what you're doing is extraordinary. So how does that resonate or not? I'd love to educate your people and sell nothing except add massive value.
Wonderful. Well, I think you're going to fit right in. It's very impressive. And I think it boils down to some layman's term that you've cracked the code for trust, which has to be there for anything, whether it be on a singular basis or a collective basis, for anything to move forward from a productive standpoint. So people buy from who they like and trust. You being a young Regis Philbin, you're definitely likable, but also you've really cracked, I think, the code to develop a whole new layer of trust in different things that are meaningful. So I welcome you aboard, Sean. I thought that was an excellent speech you gave there.
Thank you. Out of roll. So yeah, thank you, Will. How did that feel for you?
I thought it was great. I'm gonna give it a 9.5, just so your ego doesn't go too high. You know, got to leave that half a point off. But I thought it was great because you did cover a lot of points. You did kind of break it down. It wasn't just, this is what, we're going to try to make people feel warm and fuzzy. It had enough specifics in it without overdoing it to make it seem real and genuine. And that's really the key. The genuine quality of it was something that came through, as well as the intelligence.
Thank you. And now I'll answer your question. So my answer is that we can develop our listening at such an extraordinary level that we could become present to almost what people are thinking, almost like we could read their minds. And Oprah Winfrey said the reason she held the microphone for 30,000 people was because she said, I see you, I hear you, and what you say matters to me. So one challenge I have is I'm so present in a group of people, to the different listenings I'm speaking into, that I almost at times can move into having a conversation with pockets of the audience to make sure I'm adding enough value, which probably can become at times mildly diluting of the power of the message. And I bring it back, but it's establishing that balance to speak into the listening of the audience and not go too deep into the individualized listening of the grouping. But that's how sensitive and clear we can become on who's there, who's listening, and what they may or may not be thinking. Like, I am present to the different listenings even in this group. So that would be one thing I'm consistently looking to modify in the micro distinctions of acceleration. And Will, just you're talking about ego and humility. Every single day, I know I'm not even close to where I can be. And every single solitary day, I look to get better every single day. And people say that, we truly live that. We have internal team meetings, we give internal feedback. I'm evaluating every day of what innovation can we make? Would this be better than that? So I really appreciate the question. First time I've been asked that question here. So thank you, Will, and really appreciate you being here today.
Very welcome.
Thank you. Linda, thank you. How was your time with us in the Real Raw today?
I really enjoyed myself today. And I think just hearing you interact just now with Will was incredible, because what I'm hearing as a trial attorney is that you've managed to, I guess, bottle up the ability to get a jury from not guilty to guilty. And that's something that even seasoned trial attorneys don't know how to do. For some people, I'm sure it's sometimes going to be luck, and you're dealing with all kinds of different people from different backgrounds and in a jury box, and you have to get them to not only agree with you, but agree with you to the point where they say either your client, if you're a plaintiff, has a claim and the defendant is guilty, or if you're a defense attorney, that your client is not guilty. So it's a very difficult thing to do, but what you're proposing, and I guess what you've managed to, this program or system that you've managed to create is essentially, it gives people the ability to do just that, and not just in a courtroom, but in their everyday lives. So it sounds phenomenal.
No, well, Linda, thank you. And just for a quick fun fact, those 2 top 100 national jury verdicts, and you'll appreciate this as an attorney, had $0 offers going into trial. They were business breakup cases, $0 offers. And in both cases, we got 8-figure compensatory and 8-figure punitive damage awards in $0.
Wow.
So
wow, that's incredible.
Emphasize the power of what we're talking about. So thank you.
That's incredible.
Thank you. Dr. Allen, how was your time with us today?
Dr. Allen just walked into a different room and set his computer down, so he may have walked away for a moment.
Had to jump for a minute. Okay, and Spencer, how was your time with us today?
He's finding the unmute button. There you
Sorry
go.
about that. Great. Great time, and good to receive your feedback and think about how I can clarify my message, focus my message, and you change my energy, I think, were my takeaways.
Awesome. There's 4 energies, Spencer. 4 energies that Bruce Springsteen, Nelson Mandela, Muhammad Ali, George Washington had, even though we never met and have no video, guarantee he did. Ellen DeGeneres, Robin Williams, they vary 4 energies: fun, aspirational, goddess, Zeus. Fun opens listening. Aspirational energy sets a vision, takes us to a place. It creates a pull. Goddess energy instills and installs like that trust of love, empathy, presence. Zeus energy, decision, drives forward, creates outcomes, puts into container. The variance of those 4 energies is hyper present. If you want to ever watch Robin Williams and a couple of his highlight clips in movies as somebody who extraordinarily varies energy, or Muhammad Ali. Just watch Muhammad Ali in any talk bounce between those 4 energies, from fun to certainty to aspirational vision to love, like all of it. Anyone is missing, it dilutes influence. All together create extraordinary influence. So thank you, Spencer, for being here. Thank you.
And Dr. Allen is back, Sean.
Yeah, Dr. Allen, thank you for being here again.
Yes, I apologize. I have a patient in a hyperbaric chamber.
We do not want to like have patients become like non-decompressed.
So I have to let him out in about 2 minutes. Just give you a heads up.
But what, can we film it if we don't let him out and see what happens?
So probably not the best PR.
I would time with us, Dr. Allen.
It's a James Bond movie.
It is. I love that reference, Will. That is absolutely extraordinary. Yes, I agree and I'm present to that. And in Live and Let Die, they shot a compression bullet into somebody and blew them up in the room with the sharks. So, yeah, Dr. Allen, how was your time with us today?
Very enlightening. I appreciate everyone's feedback. Would like to have had, just more opportunity for my portion. I hear what everybody was saying about not engaging more with the patient, but I have a list of about 10 engaging questions that I go through with each patient, and I was only on number 1. So I should get an opportunity. I'd really get an opportunity to learn more about her condition and then share with her what we do and how I could have helped her. The most important thing for me, and I think this is with anybody, is bringing them to present of if they don't move forward, where are they going to be 6 months from now? Where are they going to be a year from now? Where are they going to be 2 years from now? If they don't take action and take action to improve the quality of their life. So I think that's something that I need to improve on, and just bringing people into the present and having them look to the future as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Dr. Allen, for being here. And please do not forget your patient in the hyperbaric chamber.
Thank you.
Because we'd have to hold Bella Rita responsible, and we don't want to do that.
Right.
No. Amazing. So Bella Rita, you are truly extraordinary. This does not exist without you. We could not be more grateful. If people want to build and grow their business and meet talents, you're it. What is your final?
My final is definitely everyone. There's the team put a link in the chat. Make sure that you download that link. That is a gift from Sean, because what he does with the with going from hello to yes, as he was sharing with Spencer, there's 4 energies, 12 indispensable elements, and a 4-step process, and that is in that guide. And Tony Robbins said there's no one that leads with more heart and more integrity. And so if you're looking for a formula, like a really live, real formula to go from hello to yes, so that you can have more time, money, and magic, you want to download that guide and then set up a call with one of our strategists. So that way, if you have any questions, you can unpack that.
Yeah, awesome. Well, Bella, truly appreciate you. Spencer, Linda, Will, totally appreciate you being here. For everything we want to rise in our money, time, and magic, we do not see what we do not see. All of us. And there's an access, and it's there because you know what, Bella Rita? In fact, we are all blind.
And just learning to see. Bye-bye, everyone.
Have a great day. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye, everybody.